Hello, I'm back. A little bit of a break. It is, mind you, I've kept working. It's 5 to 5. They just put you on pause while the kids had a bit of a bomb diving competition outside the back door. But I kept working, so you can see how far I've got. I've got a few bits that I've left open, but these are actually really useful when I am embellishing to be able to tuck things in so everything's not too rigid. Um, I have got a few things pinned in place that will be stitched with a different colour, not the black at the background, which are these few things. And so I'm pretty good. I just need to stitch along the bottom here, I think, and then I need to put some stitches into the middle of this just to make sure that it's nice and flat. I'll show what it looks like on the back so far. I've only got a few pins left, and that's stuff on the next layer. Ta-da! So it doesn't look too bad. You can see where I've been. So I've got one stitch there in the middle of, this is the needle point here. So, oh, look at that. There's a bit of a thing there. That doesn't matter. You won't see it. So now I'm going to stitch across the bottom, that last little bottom bit. Tie that off, and then I will use the black to drop some stitches in. And then as I'm using different colours, I won't deliberately go and do it, but as I'm using different colours, I'll put some blue stitches in when I happen to have blue on my needle, etc. So the very last bit of this, it's always really nice to get this bit done. I did say 5 o'clock, so I'm not too bad. Look at that, 4 to 5, 4 minutes to 5. I should be right on the buzzer, so I think that was about 2 hours to stitch the back bit down. So yes, slow stitch is slow. This is probably the fastest bit, to be fair, because it's big fat stitches. There's no sort of more design thinking to be done. It's all down and ready to go. And it's a bit loose in that I know that with all the different layers that I add, if there's something that I'm not 100% happy with, it'll either I can adapt it or it will just disappear under the next layers. Sorry, am I still on camera there? I kind of wandered off the side. And I'm not going to, I might stitch this one down in black and then the point. Look at me go, done. Oh, this one's nearly dead. Look, I've split him. Makes such a difference to be able to grab the needle though, especially when it gets hot here and fingers are a bit slippery sometimes. So I'm just going to frame this little guy in black. I actually don't need to go through all the layers here, so I'll just see how I go. I will occasionally, just to make sure it's really settled in there. Because I think it looks different when you go all the way through. You can just, I don't know, just all seems to be part of. I'll come a bit closer. And I have learnt about sheets to take the hem off, because quite often they are machine made. Quite often there's 2 or 3 folds in the hem, and if you happen to be trying to push a needle through at that point, which always without fail seems to line up with some thicker fabrics that you want to put there, it can be really difficult. So I make sure I don't have any seams or selvage or joins or hems on my backing recycled bits that I use. I'm just going to roll this way because it's much easier. How do you like to work? Is it left to right? And see, this allows me to pop stuff under there. Again, I haven't stitched very close to the edge of many things because it gives the opportunity to layer. That's the look that I like. I've got over threading about 8 needles to do this whole thing, so that makes me happy. Not very tedious. Another layer here with the doily. I'm I'm actually not going to sew down this edge, just because looking at there, I think I probably will want to tuck something in, not knowing what that might be yet. I'm just going to go along to here, and then I'm going to drop it right down to the bottom. Just like that. You can see I haven't gone to the edge, got room there, and then if I do decide I don't want to put anything in, I can just close it and stitch that up, and I'm just literally going to move on over here. I'm not going to worry about that piece of thread across the back because it will be covered by the backing. And this is really decorative, you know, it's not used on a bed, it's not going to go on a washing machine. Somebody at the last quilt show said, but what's it for? I'm like, well, I guess it's about the journey, not necessarily the ending. I don't know how many of us display and use everything we make. I don't know. It's just lovely to make beautiful things. You don't necessarily have to have a purpose in mind. It's called whimsy. I think we don't have enough whimsy in our lives as adults. All right, let's see you done. Oh, so look at the time. We're right on 5 o'clock. Well, we're not going to count the threads in the needle point. So my goal is just to set myself a task to get back into this quilt. I'm going to try and finish this top tomorrow. So that's a big call. I've got all day. It's Monday, first day of the holidays. So I don't plan on leaving the house. Now all I'm going to do is come up underneath here and look for, try and spread these out a bit. So one there through the black. I've done this in real time just so you can see that it doesn't have to take a very long time. People sometimes see my big works and go, God, how long did that take you? But I think sometimes the smaller pieces take more time. So I'm just popping along to spread these out on there, as long as my stitch allows me to, my thread allows me to, just to try and sure that it's nice and flat. I don't mind if there's buckles in other things, but I do like these to be really flat. Otherwise, it just doesn't work properly for me. As I say, I'll just do this till I run out of black thread. And then when I am putting the rest of my top together, I will take advantage when I have different colours on to just pop small stitches throughout this little needlework to make sure it is flat and tight. You can see even that the difference that those few stitches have made. This one was framed, so it is quite flat, but you do find, you know, once you take them off, that if they've been stretched or they do tend to buckle. Some of these are old, and you know, I tend to fold them up to put them in storage. So I may have quite a few, and I can't fit them all if I don't fold them or roll them. So they kind of, sometimes I iron them. Yeah, not so much, depends. I'd have to be pretty. You can see this one's got a buckle there, so I will just make sure that I put some stitches all the way along that fold so it doesn't present itself. Then that will be all I can see is that thing. That I'm happy. I said I was going to finish with this one, but I'm not. I'm going to do another black one, and just so I can, any additional ones then are additional, not ones that I really rely on, but I do need more. I've decided. Oh, and I have another thread ready to go, even better. So you can see there at the back, I've done a bit of a kind of pretty good over this side. I'm just going to go right up into the middle of that fold where it is, bend in the thing. Oh, not on the bottom, that would help. Actually going to go along the fold line. Make that little sucker sit down. This is where this crochet cotton is really good because it's very strong. You can't see it, it disappears into this needle point. I'm going to do a few more, a bit more closely together than I would normally, just because I'm conscious of that bend. Because this is going to hang, so there's nothing to help it stay flat if I don't flatten it with stitches. Oh, what happened there? A bit of a not. Saying that's what happens when you use a really long thread. Yeah, it does. So I kind of need these to really pull him into place. The thing about a stitch reel like this is you can put as many as you want. You cannot see them. In the middle now. So I am probably making the actual stitch a bit bigger here to try and really pull that down. Normally I'd probably go like here, but I'm actually going to go all the way across the whole needlepoint stitch just to try and convince it to sit flat. And I will leave a heavy book on it overnight. That also helps just to try and retrain it to where I want it to be. The problem with one of these stitches is once they fold in one place, I tend to like to fold it like my garden hose. It's got a kink. Again, I'm just going to go until I run out of thread. Sometimes it's hard to see where you've been. You have to kind of turn over and go, okay, so down the middle, I've done nothing on the left side at all. Already. Not a lot of black over here though, apart from at the bottom, so I'll have to rely on my other threads. Have I gone down that stem? Yeah, I have. Yeah. They'll ask me if I wash these. No, it depends. Particularly if they've been in a frame and glass, no. There are some that I've bought that are a bit musty that I've just gently soaked in some warm water and then laid flat to dry, just because more it's a bit of a musty smell. But generally, particularly if they've been framed and behind glass, they're good as gold. Remember too, this isn't actually going on your bed. It's decorative. Yeah, you could put it on your bed. I'm going to just head up the tree, just up into these bits then, and then a couple over on the edge there. Go over there, set it. Yeah. And then the backing is done. Let's see how we go. We've got family dinner tonight, Sunday. I won't get back to this tonight, but I'm going to spend the whole day on it tomorrow, so see how long it actually takes in one uninterrupted go. So I normally have a couple of projects on the go. I work full time, and then I do respite once a month for one of our little girls at school, so that's a whole weekend. So I really only have 3 weekends a month that I'm not working. So I tend to have stuff during term that I can sit in front of the TV and just brainlessly do, which tends to be hexagons or slow stitching if I'm organised, or pinned and ready to go, or my little house, wonky house blocks that I'm doing as well at the moment are good for that, because they're done on the machine, but then they're embellished just by hand. I'll share them with you later. I've still got all this black thread. It's not in me to cut it off. Let's see, where am I? Just come straight over here. Go up in here. Here's the last of it. Ow. Okay, now I said I didn't want to see bleed. That out. It's all good. My finger in now. It's getting a bit excited about being finished. That's what you get. Down here to the black. Then we'll put it all flat and have a little look. I don't have to just go upstairs and start dinner till 6, because everything's ready to go. Alrighty, I think I am just about done. I'm actually just going to see, I haven't done this bit, so that's good. Finish along here with the last few stitches of black. Not bleeding, it's all good. Ow. I'll roll now. Beautiful green fabric came from my cousin's auntie's house, so it's called reuse, upcycle, keep it out of landfill. Look how gorgeous it is. I've used it for so many things. Old, and its parts of it are all bedraggled, and it's just stunning. Alrighty, let's have a look. Done. You can get a little bit of that left, so thimbles off. They get a bit sweaty in Queensland, those thimbles sometimes, which is probably a bit gross. So let's just have a look where we're up to. So all of that background is done. Still got a bit of a bend, but that will go. So I've got a few bits of the next layers ready. Got some open bits to tuck again here, and because I didn't want so much of that house, so maybe I'll trim that, or we'll see. But that is the back done, and the time is 5:15, so that was two hours, I think. There's a pin. And that background is down, ready to go. So the next bit is the really fun bit where we put the next layer on, and quite a bit of this you actually won't see once that's all on. And you can see here, look, see how when I stitch that, it hasn't caught. So I won't worry about that too much. I'll just make sure when I get to this bit and when I'm embellishing it that I actually stitch kind of in under along there. So that sits where it's supposed to. So thanks for playing. I hope you enjoyed all of my soundtrack, courtesy of my family and the railway line next door. And I'll see you in the morning.